Hey y'all, remember how I said I brought my umbrella for shade? Well, now I can use it for shade. And yeah, it's going to be very helpful to me because I'm kind of waiting here. I'm resting because my arms are really tired after battling those waves. I haven't gotten out of the South Joe River yet, and I'm just gonna wait here till you see a passing boat or something to see if I can get some help. Because I feel stuck right now. I don't think I'm going anywhere with those waves. It took me forever just to get here, and I don't even know how far down the actual Joe River that I got. I haven't seen... It's been 2 hours, and I haven't seen the spot that I crossed yesterday when I saw the law enforcement officer, which are basically the 3 mangrove islands. That was my landmark, and that was about 40 or so minutes before I arrived. So I'm obviously making very, very slow progress right now, and I don't think I'm making it by sundown. So I'm gonna wait here for a bit, and if it comes to it, I believe that I know how to get back to that South Joe River shelter if I need to. But this is not working, getting out of the Joe River and into Whitewater Bay and then back to number 10, through the Tarpon Creek, and then Coot Bay, and then number 2 to the Buttonwood Canal. Once I get in the Buttonwood Canal, I should be fine. Even if I could get into Coot Bay, it'll probably be a lot better. But the Whitewater Bay is so vast. So we're gonna chill here for a little bit. That log there is providing me a nice little stay so that I'm not going anywhere. Can you guys see that current? The waves aren't that bad right now, but the current, fighting against that current, I thought the river was flowing the other direction. But that current is just coming in, and I've been fighting that current trying to get up and around this bend, and I've tried twice now, and every time I've been pushed right back here. It's so beautiful and peaceful here, isn't it? But I do want to get out of here, but it is beautiful. I love it here. I'm glad that I did this adventure, even though I kind of feel stuck. I'm so glad I did this adventure and experienced it, and also learned what I'm capable of. Look at that water just coming around the bend here. That's a current, and I'm trying to travel up that current right now, and as soon as I hit it, I just get turned. Wow, that's our goal. That's where we're trying to get to, somewhere out there. Maybe have a renewed burst of effort. Try number 1 was a fail. I tried going around that cove, that point, and just got swept farther down the way I do not want to go. That is a strong current right there. That is super strong. keep being pushed into this cove. Instead of getting around it, I keep being pushed into it. I'm being pushed into land. I've been pushed into land. This is the farthest that I've gotten. Oh gosh, these waves. Well, oof. I might be stuck here for a minute. Well, those waves were crashing over the front of the boat. I don't know if you can see that it's wet down there, but they were crashing over the front of the boat here, and the boat was tipping. I got afraid that it was going to capsize over there, so I paddled backwards back into the calm cove that I have here. I've tried 3 times to get out of this cove. So, yeah, I've never been in a situation like this before. Look at that, a nice close-up view of the mangrove trees with the oysters growing in the middle of the water. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's beautiful. Experience Everglades National Park. Here's a cool little example, if my paddle gets out of the way, of a root that is growing, but it hasn't yet reached the water yet. Do you see that? It's like a fresh root. I think that's really cool. Seeing these close-ups here is kind of amazing, kind of cool. So thankful to be here so that I can appreciate this beauty here. This is the same bend that I've been trying to get around. I just saw a police boat move past, and I blew my whistle here a lot, and they just continued sailing on past at a high rate of speed. So I guess I'm stuck out here. Not making any progress. I'm paddling as hard as I can and I'm not making any progress in this current. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm not making any progress in this current. The point over there that I've been trying to pass is over there. I came out to the center so that that boat would see me instead of just passing right by. It's a boat! In the Buttonwood Canal. So that's where we started, the Buttonwood Canal into Coop Bay, and then went left. Out somewhere to there this morning. This is the Florida Bay. So now we've made it back to the Flamingo Visitor Center, and I think this is too windy of a spot for me to explain what happened, so I'm gonna find somewhere else. So here we are back at the Flamingo Visitor Center, and grateful to be back here since I was getting stuck out there. So what exactly happened? I woke up this morning knowing that I was a little concerned with the waves, so I wanted to leave early while the waves looked calm on the little bay where the South Joe River shelter was. So I packed up. Great morning, beautiful sunrise. Tent stayed up, so it seemed like a pretty calm morning. So I decided that I would use the calmness of the morning in order to get out back across the Whitewater Bay and back closer to where I needed to be tomorrow. I decided I did not want to test my ability anymore after yesterday's struggle. So the decision was made to go back early and go back a day early. And then as soon as I got out of the bay, we're back into the Joe River. I started paddling down the Joe River, but the problem was the wind was picking up and the wind was blowing exactly the opposite direction that I needed to go. So I was paddling into the waves kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was not working out super well. After I realized that I was not making any forward progress at all, I decided to change my course a little bit to aim toward a little sheltered bay. So I went to the sheltered cove, I guess you could call it, to take a break and take a breather. And that is when I rested for a while, and then I made an attempt to continue down the river or into the wind and failed at that attempt, went back into the cove. Tried again, went back into the cove. Tried again, went back into the cove. Tried again, I got around the point, but got caught on the side of the point, and the waves were threatening to capsize the boat, so I decided to go back into the cove where I actually felt sheltered. Then I decided that I would try to flag down a passing boat to maybe ask for assistance, and a couple boats passed by. I blew the whistle that I had with me, but nothing happened. Nobody stopped. I thought that I was probably too close to shore to be seen, or couldn't be heard with the wind and the motor of the boats and all that kind of stuff. So that's when I decided to go out into the middle and kind of wait there. I was pushed back into the cove after that. So I ended up texting 911 and asking them for assistance, if they could send a boat out to help me get back in, because I was not making any forward progress. My backup plan was to go back to the shelter because I'm pretty sure I could get back there, but then I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be stuck there and feel like I was stuck there, even though I was able to set up a basic plan there. I did not want to stay there knowing that I was stuck. That would not be ideal, especially for, I just didn't want to stay there worried about what I was going to do next. So I used satellite to contact emergency services, first time I've ever done that, and it worked out pretty well. They asked me where my location was, that my phone automatically sent the GPS coordinates. They ended up telling the patrol person that I was at the shelter, which is where I was not. I said I was in the South Joe River area, but they sent them to the shelter, and I saw the boat pass, and was not looking for me there. So I paddled back out into the middle of the river because I figured the boat would probably come back, and I continued to try to paddle and not make any progress. I wanted to stay where I was, where I'd made the call, but I wanted to be out in the middle of the river where I'd actually be seen so that they wouldn't pass by me anymore, because I was kind of hiding in the sheltered cove area. So I went out into the middle of the river and I just paddled to try to stay where I was currently so I didn't get carried downstream. And I was able to pretty much keep up with the waves but not make any forward progress, and that's when the boat caught up to me and I filmed the rest. So it worked out pretty well. I decided to make that call before it became an actual issue, because it would have been a little more, I mean, I have plenty of days, I don't need to be anywhere, and I had plenty of food and water with me, so I would have been fine at the chickadee for a while. It would have just been really boring. And if you realize you're stuck and can't get out, even when the waves seem to be less high than they had been the previous day, at least they were at first, you want to call for any assistance that you might need before you actually desperately need it. If you realize you're stuck and in a position where you might need help at some point and you can't get out yourself, contact help then, because it's better that you contact help right away than wait a few hours or wait a day until you're actually in a situation where you might be hurt or completely stranded and need assistance. So that's my tip for you all about emergency services. Thanks for watching, y'all. It's Dick the Eagle. We'll figure out what we're going to do with the rest of today. Probably edit some videos, probably find a spot with some service, and see what's next. But thank you all for watching this video. It took a turn of events that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting that I would be able to paddle out myself because the river or the bay looked a lot calmer, but turned out not to be the case. Know your limits. Don't try to go past your limits. And know when you need assistance. Don't just try to do everything on your own if it's not working out for you. So that's my lesson for today. Hope you're having a great day and make it a good one. Go out there and choose your own adventure. Be safe and know when to contact help if you need it. Always embrace the journey and happy trails. I'm thankful for the way this worked out. Now I'm here on a beautiful day and we'll figure out what's next. See you all in the next one. So we're out here at the Guy Bradley Visitor Center, and we go back up that road there. Eventually we're gonna come around and down Route 1 to the other side of Florida Bay and do all those keys, and that's on the way to Key West. But the first thing we're going to do is go up here to Key Biscayne National Park, which is off the map a little bit. Time for a nice meal. This is the Florida Bay outside Flamingo. Let's see if it's this choppy right by the shore. Kind of see what the open water can be like. I don't think after this experience that open water is great for a kayak. At least on windy days.